You know, Warren gets asked all the time about which one of us is more frugal. And you know what he says in personal consumption? Warren is more frugal. That is him saying it, not me, but let me tell you, we both pretty damn frugal. And there is a reason for that. I am sitting here at 99 years old, looking back at a lifetime of decisions, good ones and bad ones. And you know what I've learned? One of the great defenses, if you are worried about inflation, is not to have a lot of silly needs in your life. If you don't need a lot of material goods, inflation can hurt you now. Most people today, they hear about frugality, and they think it means being cheap, being miserable, depriving yourself. But that is not what I am talking about at all. What I am talking about is being rational about value. Let me tell you something Warren says that I completely agree with. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. When you really sit down and look at it, when you purchase something, you are always focused on what you get from the item. It is very seldom that anyone spends just to spend. You spend so that you can have a useful item. So just like we are selective with our investments to make sure that they have value, you should be selective with what you buy so you get the most out of it. For example, if you want to buy a new pair of shoes, don't buy the cheapest one because it is the cheapest. Buy the one that lasts the longest and make you the happiest, making the price you pay worth it. A great business at a fair price is superior to a fair business at a great price. That applies to shoes just as much as it applies to companies. Now, let me talk about something that I think is critically important, but most people completely misunderstand. The difference between long-term thinking and short-term thinking. Warren says someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Good things take time to grow. If you want to finally become wealthy, starting the seeds of frugal living can never be done too soon. I remember going all the way back to when I was young. I understood this principle. You make decisions today that pay off decades from now. Not next week, not next month, decades. Let me give you an example. Thrift stores, you know what Warren says about buying things for far below what they re-worth. He says if you buy things for far below what they re-worth and you buy a group of them, you basically don't lose money. Thrift stores are basically a treasure trove of items that are below their value. And following what Warren said in that clip, you basically don't lose money this way. I've always been fond of thrift stores and used items simply because they offer the same quality as a new item, but for a huge cut in cost. You really can go wrong. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but Charlie, you are a billionaire. Why are you talking about thrift stores? And that is exactly my point. Being wealthy does mean you start making stupid decisions about money. Being rational is a moral imperative. You should never be stupider than you need to be. Let me talk about budgets for a minute. A budget will really save you from spending more money than you need. In fact, there is no better person than Warren to tell you this. He is an expert in business and looks at financial data all day long. But when you break it down, the financial data is none other than how well a business is sticking to its budget and plan. For example, when you spend less than you earn and constantly pay yourself through savings, then you are bound to grow just as a business would. So always aim to budget your finances, as it is a great step to living frugally. You know what is fascinating about budgets? Most people think they have one, but when you actually look at what they doing, they just spending and hoping something else left over. That is not a budget, that is wishful thinking. There is always going to be at least one rainy day in everyone's lives, essentially, when something unexpected happens and your finances take a hit. If you don't believe me, then look back a few years at the impact of COVID. By having insurance of 3 to 6 months, you can feel protected against any potential windfalls and always come out growing from them. Now, food. Let me talk about food because this is where I see people waste enormous amounts of money. You know what Warren does? When he is not feeling quite so prosperous, he goes with the cheaper McDonald's breakfast. 2 sausage patties, puts them together, pours himself a Coke. And you know what is amazing? It is how cheap his breakfast is. but it is the fact that he is willing to spend less just because the market is down. This is an interesting form of meal planning. It is proven to be effective. When you plan out how much your meals are going to cost you every day, then you can easily set up the right amount of money to budget for it. It has worked for Warren. It has worked for me, and it'll absolutely work for you. But here is the key. No restaurants. You hear me? If you are broke and trying to build wealth, you really shouldn't be spending a significant portion of your paycheck on eating food at a restaurant. It'll eat your money faster than you eat your food. And no fancy coffee either. I know everyone loves their Starbucks or whatever coffee shop they go to, but if you are spending $5 a day on coffee, that is $150 a month. Over a year, that is $1,800 for coffee. You know what you can do with $1,800 if you invest it properly? You can change your entire financial trajectory. You can pay off debt. You can build an emergency fund. You can invest in learning a skill that makes you more valuable. But instead, people drink it away. They literally drink away their financial future. One fancy coffee at a time. Make your coffee at home. Buy the beans you like. Make it exactly how you want it. And save yourself thousands of dollars a year. It is not complicated. For almost every single item out there, there is a brand name and a generic version. While many people will buy the brand, you should be buying generic. Not only is it much cheaper, but it is usually the same quality as branded products. An example of this is my suits. They remade by a small-time tailor, but they've served me for decades. You don't always need a brand to be happy. Let me tell you about free activities. There are loads of free activities. And with the internet now, you can easily find groups of people who are looking to meet new people in free and cheap ways. In fact, Warren decided it would be best for his second marriage to be held at his daughter's house instead of a fancy place which he could easily afford. You don't remember activities for the activity itself, but the people you do it with. You'll also be happy with how much you save this way. Reading the library. Warren once said that success can be almost guaranteed as long as you read. And what better place to read than the library, where every single book is free? But instead of owning it, you rent it. It is one of the best and most underutilized resources. But it can save you a ton of money while giving you knowledge that other people aren't taking advantage of. In my whole life, I have known no wise people who didn't read all the time. None, zero. You'd be amazed at how much Warren reads and how much I read. My children laugh at me. They think I am a book with a couple of legs sticking out, and I can get all those books for free at the library. Why would I pay full price when I don't? Do you have to subscriptions? My God, subscriptions. It is normal to have a subscription here and there, but do you have more than you need? Making sure you actually use your subscription at least once or twice a week can ensure that you aren't wasting money. If you haven't touched a subscription for at least 2 months, then it is best to get rid of it and save money. You know what is interesting about me and cell phones? I'll show you my phone. It is very simple. It is falling apart. People joke that Alexander Graham Bell gave it to me. But you know what? It makes phone calls. That is what I need it to do. I don't need all these fancy features that cost a fortune. There are more and more companies that have amazing deals on cell phone plans. One of these companies is Mint Mobile, which has plans starting at as little as $15 per month. You can beat that. But if you want to go a step further, you can be like me and have a very simple phone. Eating out at the right times. There are busy times in a restaurant, and there are less busy times. While eating out at a busy time means full, priced food, eating out at less busy times can give you major discounts. By simply shifting your time, you can get huge deals and enjoy a fantastic meal for very little. Cashback apps. Even though I don't use cell phones much, I understand the value of getting money back on purchases you are already making. The reason is that you are getting more value out of your purchase. There are tons of cashback apps that you can use. One which is very popular is Ibotta renting out space. Some of you likely have space in your home to rent. And if you are looking to make some extra cash, then consider making the most out of your home for that. It is easier now than ever with apps like Airbnb Hobbies. There are 2 benefits of a hobby. One is that if your hobby is inexpensive, then you can save money by spending time enjoying it. And the second is that you can turn it into an income stream. One way to look at hobbies, at least the way I do, is investing in yourself. You've got all kinds of potential. You are lucky to be in this country. Got a good education, but most people go through life using up a very, very small part of their potential. And so anything you do that invests in yourself, that is the best investment you can possibly make. It has been my experience in life. If you just keep thinking and reading, you don't have to work. What I mean is, if you invest in your mind, opportunities will come to you. Tracking expenses. There is no one better at tracking finances than Warren and me. While we primarily do it for businesses, it is not that different for people. Simply put, you shouldn't be spending more than you earn, and you shouldn't be spending on anything unnecessary. We take this to heart and live our lives like that, and look where it has gotten us. It certainly can get you there too, credit cards. Let me tell you what Warren told someone once. This woman asked him about investing, and he asked what interest rate she was paying on her credit card. She said 18%, and Warren said, I don't too know how to make 18%. If I owed any money at 18%, the first thing I'd do with any money I had would be to pay it off. It is going to be way better than any investment idea I've got. He is absolutely right about that. The best investment you can make is by paying off debts, because you'll instantly have huge returns. In the case of a credit card, upwards of 18%. The best part is that it is guaranteed, which is unheard of in the investing world. So if you have debts, pay them off ASAP. Coupons. A popular anecdote about Warren is the time that he bought Bill Gates and his wife McDonald's and paid with coupons. Sure, this may seem cheap, but really he was making the most out of what he had. Why should he have to pay full price if he doesn't have to? Always ask this question yourself too, and you'll see how much easier it is to save. Making dinner at home. Learning to cook is a valuable skill that'll help you save. Most people eat out constantly and wonder why they broke. But when you cook at home, you eat amazing food for a fraction of the cost. Lists. Sticking to a list when shopping can drastically change your finances. I stress the importance of having a plan in your life, and making a list is no different. When you stick to your list, you get the exact items you want at the price you want. When things are expected, things are easy to deal with. And you can continue living frugally this way, selling things you don't need. If you don't need them, why do you still have them? Instead of just throwing it away, however, see if you can sell it to get the most value out of it. For example, if you have an old camera that still works, sell it on Facebook Marketplace. Chances are there is someone out there who will want it investing. Warren and I are huge fans of low-cost index funds as investments, since they cheap and you don't have to do any research. But you can always expect growth. On average, the S&P 500 grows at an annual rate of 10% per year. It is a safe and easy investment for anyone. Wearing clothes more than once before washing. Clothes don't get dirty that fast. I wear my pants several times before I consider washing them, simply because they don't get dirty that quickly. The best test for dirtiness are your eyes and nose. If it looks dirty, then clean it. If it smells dirty, it is also time to clean it. But if you've worn a shirt once and it doesn't smell or look dirty, you can wear it again. Side hustles. I once said that I'll work for the rest of your life if you can. Make money while you sleep. In other words, you need multiple streams of income. One known way of this is a side hustle, which requires a little effort but continuously makes money. Cars. A new car may be nice, but it is not a frugal option. Even Warren will tell you that with the used car he drives. As long as it gets him from point A to B, he is happy. Not only that, but he is much more wealthy because of it. And you can be too. Automating savings. Savings are the key to riches. Don't save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. This is one of Warren's most popular quotes, and for good reason. Most people have the saving ideology backwards. But now you know the proper way. Saving comes first, and automating your savings can help you grow wealth incredibly quickly. Housing. Warren lives in the same house he bought for a very modest price back in 1958. Can you imagine living in the same home for over 60 years? Hard to imagine. Right? The truth is most of you don't need a mansion to have a great home. If you have more home than you need, then take the frugal step and downsize to something both more affordable and more suitable to your lifestyle. Exercise at home. You don't need to do much to get the workouts you need to stay healthy. In fact, just walking for 30 minutes a day is already enough for most people to stay in great shape. Plus, walking is free, which is excellently frugal. Gym memberships are nice because you get to have the equipment. But what is the point if you never use them? Start with what you can do, and if you can commit, then you can upgrade. Meatless meals. Yes, the taste of meat is just too good to pass up. But if you can reduce the amount you eat per week, you can save tons of money. Meat is likely one of the biggest expenses in your grocery budget, so any reduction can make a difference. Now let me bring all of this together because as we head toward 2025, 2026, and beyond, these principles become even more important. The economy is going to have its ups and downs. Markets will fluctuate, but the fundamental truth remains the same. If you don't need a lot of material goods, you are free. Inflation can touch you. Economic downturns can destroy you. Most people have a vast propensity to spend, helped by spouses and children. But if you can resist that, if you can be rational about value instead of just chasing brands and status, you build real wealth. It is remarkable how much long-term advantage people like us have gotten by trying to be consistently not stupid, instead of trying to be very intelligent. That is the secret. Don't try to be brilliant with your spending. Just don't be stupid. Buy high-quality items that last. Focus on the long term. Shop at places where things are below their true value. Budget rigorously. Save for emergencies. Plan your meals. Buy generic. Find free activities. Use the library. Cancel unused subscriptions. Get a cheap phone plan. Down at discount times. Use cashback apps. Rent out spare space. Develop inexpensive hobbies. Track every expense. Avoid credit cards. Use coupons. Cook at home. Stick to shopping lists. Sell unused items. Invest consistently. Wear clothes multiple times. Build side income. Drive reliable used cars. Automate savings. Downsize housing. Exercise for free. Reduce meat consumption. These aren't just tips. They a philosophy, a way of thinking about value and money that has served Warren and me for our entire lives. Spend each day trying to be a little wiser than you were when you woke up. Discharge your duties faithfully and well. Slug it out 1 inch at a time, day by day at the end of the day. If you live long enough, most people get what they deserve. You deserve wealth. Then be rational. Don't have silly needs. Focus on value, not price, and watch your money grow.